Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jeanette Price, and I am a principal with Alternative Education.
And I am Dr. Annie Yates, Principal with Special Education.
We are pleased to welcome you to the 2021 Riverside County High School Virtual Graduation Ceremony and to express our gratitude for your viewing of today's celebration of the achievements of our graduates. We also recognize those parents, family, friends, and the community who have surrounded our graduates with unwavering support. Commencement means beginning, and we look at this graduation as a new beginning from the end of formal education to the education in life. I would like to start with a special acknowledgement of our amazing teachers, support staff, and partners for their amazing work through this year. In the most challenging of times, you have been a model of doing whatever is needed to reach our students. And the class of 2021, you have been a model of accomplishment by any means. Thank you to our educators and students.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I would like to acknowledge the Leadership Military Academy Color Guard with a presentation of the colors under the direction of Captain Joe Vines. Ronald Thomas will lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
Present. Color.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Carry. Color. Order. Color. Zip. Ready? 2.
Thank you, Ronald Thomas, Captain Vines, and the cadets at the Leadership Military Academy Color Guard for a beautiful tribute. I would like to extend a special note of gratitude to the March Air Museum, March Joint Power Authority, and the March Air Reserve Base for their support.
I am pleased to introduce members of the Riverside County Board of Education. Bruce N. Dennis, President, Riverside County Board of Education. Kim Joseph Cousins, Vice President, Riverside County Board of Education. Ray Coach Curtis, Member, Riverside County Board of Education. Barbara Hale, Member, Riverside County Board of Education. Corey A. Jackson, Member, Riverside County Board of Education. Elizabeth Romero, Member, Riverside County Board of Education. Dr. Wendell Tucker, Member, Riverside County Board of Education. Your support of student learning and leadership are greatly appreciated.
Please join me in welcoming members of the Superintendent's Cabinet. Dr. Edwin Gomez, Riverside County Superintendent of Schools. Dr. Ruth Perez, Deputy Superintendent. Dr. Charles Newman, Assistant Superintendent. Joanne Lauer, Assistant Superintendent. Dr. Cynthia Glover Woods, Chief Academic Officer. Stephen Hovey, Chief Personnel Officer. Eric Calderon, Chief Technology Officer. Jeff Vaca, Chief Governmental Relations Officer. Your leadership has created a wealth of opportunities for our students.
Please join me in welcoming members of our Alternative Education and Special Education Administrative Team. Dr. Charles Fisher, Executive Director, Alternative Education. Pamela Bender, Executive Director, Special Education. Christine Haney Okoye, Director, Special Education. Dr. Barbara Sorter, Administrator, Special Education. Brian Sousa, Administrator, Special Education and Alternative Education. Dr. Deanna McCarty, Administrator, Alternative Education. Lacey Lennon Arthur, Administrator, Alternative Education. Dr. Lexi Backstrom, Administrator, Alternative Education. Shelley Walsh, Administrator, Special Education. Arthur Kimball, Principal, Alternative Education. Christopher McDonald, Principal, Alternative Education. Constance Hinkle, Principal, Special Education. Dina Slocum, Principal, Special Education. Denise Chappell, Principal, Special Education. Gary Scheck, Principal, Special Education. Crystal Kearns, Principal, Special Education. Randy Chaplook, Principal, Special Education. Randy Kovacevic, Principal, Alternative Education. Sandra Penaloza, Principal, Alternative Education. Dr. Vincent Chubo, Principal, Alternative Education. Letitia Asau, Coordinator, Special Education. Phoebe Moore, Coordinator, Alternative Education. Esmeralda Vike, Instructional Assistant, Special Education. Jamaica Prietor Morrill, Counselor, Alternative Education. Valerie McCrae, School Social Worker, Alternative Education. At this time, I'd like to introduce Valentino Espandola, a student at Valverde Regional Learning Center, as the first of our student speakers. We have 2 graduation speakers who will share their inspirational stories and their journey to this pivotal point in their lives. Their stories not only inspire us, but remind those who have helped along the way of their extreme importance in this journey to success.
Good afternoon, my fellow graduates, family, and friends. My name is Valentino Espindola. I want to begin with this quote. I can't change the direction of the wind, but I can adjust myself to always reach my destination, by Jim Dean. At the age of 16, I began making bad decisions. Those led up to my expulsion from my district. At the time, I did not care what my future looked like. My decisions led up to my enrollment at Valverde Regional Learning Center. My experience at Valverde Regional Learning Center was very good. I felt supported by the teachers and staffs during a very difficult time. During the COVID-19 pandemic, it has been challenging for students, including myself, to do online learning. The staff and faculty would constantly push me to succeed by reminding me not to give up. During the time when I did not feel like completing assignments, they never gave up on me. I want to thank my mom for always pushing me to do better. She has shown me unconditional love by never giving up on me. She stands by me even when I make bad decisions. I am proud to show my brothers that no matter what happens in life, they can succeed as well. I want to thank Ms. D because she has helped me a lot in the graduation process. She has helped me prepare important documents such as my resume and cover letter, which will help me prepare for my future. I am going to bring it back to the quote. In life, we all experience bad things and make bad choices. No matter how many bad choices you make, you still have the power to adjust yourselves to the correct path. I have learned to be patient with the process. What that means, be patient with life's ups and downs and celebrate my success. With all my ups and downs, I was still able to adjust myself and reach my destination. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2021.
Thank you for your story, Valentino.
At this time, Dr. Charles Newman, Assistant Superintendent of Students, Programs, and Services, will share a few special remarks.
Hello, graduating class of 2021. My name is Dr. Charles Newman, and as the Riverside County Assistant Superintendent of Student Programs and Supports, I would like to start off by congratulating all of our graduates. High school graduation is one of the most exciting times of our lives. There's excitement about getting your high school diploma that you have worked so hard to accomplish over the years that shows how you have successfully finished high school. There's excitement around celebrating with your families and friends this great accomplishment that you have spent countless hours pursuing over the past 12 plus years. And there's also excitement about this new transition as you are eager to start with your plans for the future. And excitement is what should represent this moment. For graduation is far from the end, but it is the beginning to all your future dreams. Over the past years, you have studied, you've showed up and worked hard hours on end, and you have grown mentally and physically, and now you are ready to begin your lives as members of the adult community. For some of you, this will mean getting a job and the responsibilities of family. For others, this will mean going to college and furthering your education and preparation. Whatever course your future holds, it is my sincere hope that you will look back on your years here as having prepared you to meet and deal with the challenges that life will present. So on behalf of myself and the staff here at the Riverside County Office of Education, I wish each and every one of you the happiness of a productive and prosperous life, the respect of your community, and the love of your family and friends. May the future be yours, the best of luck, and congratulations to the class of 2021.
Thank you, Dr. Newman, for your inspirational message. At this time, I would like to introduce our second student speaker, Jose Villaseñor, a student at David Long Regional Learning Center.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jose Villaseñor, and I'm a graduate of Riverside County High School at David Long Regional Learning Center. Congratulations to the families who are online with us tonight and who are here supporting us, the friends who are here to cheer us on, the teachers and staff who are finally getting rid of us, and most importantly, congratulations to the class of 2021. I would like to take this time to share with you my story of how I became a graduate as a part of the class of 2021 at David Long Regional Learning Center. My senior year was filled with accomplishments and success stories, but that was not my experience as I journeyed through high school. In my early years, I felt shortchanged in life or not dealt a fair hand when compared to my classmates, so I always felt like I had the disadvantage in whatever came my way. Due to this, I lost hope, I felt helpless, and when you have these feelings going on inside, you just stop caring. I was more interested in taking care of my personal needs, making a quick dollar, and as a result of this, I was expelled from Paris Lake High School. Looking back, I see my expulsion as a blessing in disguise because it led me to teachers, office staff, and a principal that cared for me and interacted with me in a way that I have never interacted with in all my years of going to school. My teacher, Ms. Gonzalez, not only taught me how to be a better student, but taught me the value of what it means to become a better person. Ms. Washington was always there to support us and offer us advice on situations that we were dealing with as young adults. My welding teacher, Mr. Owen, taught me a skill in welding that I would take with me for the rest of my life, and taught me what it truly means to work. Mr. Montgomery, our student mentor, offered words of wisdom and motivation when times got rough. Even Ms. Jennifer Grimm, the office secretary, Ms. Nancy, the lunch lady, and Eric Mujica, campus security, were involved in my everyday life while going to school at David Long. And I know that the person behind all this love and support was my principal, Mr. C. I never thought I would have a relationship with my principal the way I do with Mr. C. And this relationship continues even after graduation. I can say this from the heart because I graduated back in December, and we still maintain contact with each other. Before coming to David Long, I didn't know what it meant to invest. What it meant to invest in my education, what it meant to invest in other people, and what it meant to invest in my future. Being dealt a shorthand to me only meant to look for a quick solution to get me through, make a quick buck, and satisfy my daily needs. After attending a full year at David Long, I learned to accept being dealt a shorthand, and that I still have cards in my deck, and I just need to learn to play the right cards. I learned that education is a lifelong journey, and it is important to play the education card and never stop learning. Learning allows me to see the world differently and from a different perspective. I will continue to grow as I journey through life, valuing what it means to be educated. Education has allowed me to find myself again. I have also learned to invest in people. By playing this card, I have learned what it means to give and support others who are in need. I understand firsthand what it means to be in desperate need of help and being on the receiving end. I have invested in people who have later shown me their gratitude in their own way. I have also learned to play the card of work ethic. I thank Mr. Owen, my welding teacher, for showing me how to be a hard worker. The welding program has shown me an avenue of career opportunities that I have invested in, and I was just about to start my welding internship with CryoEquipped right before the pandemic started. If it wasn't for being expelled and being led to the staff at David Long's Regional Learning Center, I would probably have a different mindset on education and on life itself. I can't thank you enough for all the love and support you guys have given me, and a new set of playing cards in my deck. To the class of 2021, not everyone is dealt the perfect hand, but the cards you play will be the definition of your life and your character. We all have cards in our hand that have the capability to improve the world we live in. You can be the person who puts down the joker, or instead be the person who puts down the ace. I've spent a long part of my life dealing with the shorthand, but my journey through David Long Regional Learning Center taught me that I have more cards in my deck than I actually think. Congratulations to the class of 2021. You guys made it.
Thank you. It is my honor to introduce Ray Coach Curtis, member, Riverside County Board of Education, a great supporter and advocate for students, to share a few words.
To begin with, on behalf of the Riverside County Board of Trustees, congratulations to the class of 2021 on your victory of completing the graduation requirements that allowed you to be here for this ceremony. The class of 2021 is not canceled. This roller coaster school year is going to be one that you will never, ever forget. For the last 12 years, your life has been unfolding, and you have experienced the good times and the not so good times. Now, this is one of those good times. You didn't give up when you were faced with adversity, challenges, or bad days. You are here now to celebrate your victory over the challenges of the last 12 years. For you to do well in school, you needed to do some things. You needed to do your homework. You needed to get a good night's sleep. You needed to follow the rules. Have a good breakfast before you start school. In my opinion, without doing those things, you would not be here right now. To be successful after graduation, you will need to set your goals and write them down, what you learned in school to better yourself. Growing up is tough. In order for you to get to this point in your lives, the long journey, there were many challenges to face, but you did your homework, studied, met deadlines, and took responsibility because you wanted to be here and you did not quit. Now, I would be willing to bet that there were times when things were tough and full of overwhelming challenges for you. I will also be willing to bet when things were not going as well as they could have, there was a time or two when you might have just said, I don't want to do this anymore and give up, but you did not. And that is why you are here. Did you know that nationally, 1 in 5 students are not graduating from high school? But in Riverside County, 9 in 10 are graduating. Your never give up attitude, combined with encouragement from your teachers, support staff, and administrators in Riverside County, brings all of us great joy and pride in achieving this accomplishment. You are part of the victory that continues to see Riverside County named as #1 in the state for graduation rates. For a second, reflect back when you encountered those feelings of being stressed out, being up to your limit and just needed to talk to someone. You weren't alone, as nearly 1 in 3 young people are experiencing the same anxiety. There was probably someone who was in your corner to help you through this time of need, who motivated you and kept you going. 1 in 3 people don't have a trusted adult outside of family, but a parent, teacher, support staff, or friend was more than there for you. Please remember to thank those individuals that had your back then and now. More than half of the teams say bullying is a major problem, and 11 million kids don't have a safe place to go from 3 to 6 p.m. So yes, it is difficult growing up, but you never gave up. At this time, I would like to thank the educators, the support staff, the parents, and your guardians for your dedication and commitment to your member of the class of 2021. Members of the class of 2021, you might think your homework is over, but not so fast. Your homework now becomes life work. What you have experienced thus far is just a taste of what you will face in your future. You now have the basic foundation to build upon, but always remember that your best never comes easy. You must become your best. Now, here are a few words in closing that should be in your vocabulary list to do well in life. Persistence, follow through, make the right choices. The meaning of life is to give life meaning. So, go give life meaning and make a difference, and your journey will have a good foundation for future success. Congratulations to the class of 2021.
Thank you, Board Member Curtis. And now it is with great honor that I introduce your Riverside County Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Edwin Gomez.
Hello, my name is Dr. Edwin Gomez, and I would like to take a moment and congratulate the class of 2021. As your Riverside County Superintendent of Schools, I sincerely wish that I could be part of your celebration today. I know it has been a very challenging year, but we are proud that each one of you has been determined to meet your goal of graduating from high school. You chose to be determined instead of quitting. You have elected to stay strong instead of giving in to fear, and you chose hope instead of despair. And that hope will serve you well in every challenge that you face. Not only will that hope be important to your success, but sharing that hope with others will also be helpful in helping others succeed, and it's the best gift that you can give to another person. As you consider your plans for life after high school, never forget that the power of that resiliency and hope has successfully brought you to today's celebration. That hope will sustain you through any challenge that you face in your life, whether you are entering the workforce, the military, or college. We know that you will be a beacon of hope to the world around you. We know that you will make us all proud in Riverside County. Congratulations again to the class of 2021.
Thank you, Dr. Gomez. At this time, Dr. Charles Fisher, Executive Director, Alternative Education, will present the class to Ray Coach Curtis, member of the Riverside County Board of Education, for acceptance.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to present the class of 2021 for acceptance by the Riverside County Board of Education, and I certify that all of the members of the class of 2021 have met the requirements established by the State of California and the Riverside County Board of Education for high school diploma, high school equivalency, or certificate of completion. Congratulations, graduates.
Now, on behalf of the Riverside County Board of Education, I accept the class of 2021.
And now, the moment many of you have been waiting for, the presentation of our class of 2021. We will be joined by our fellow alternative education and special education administrators in the reading of the names.
Robert Aguirre.
Jenny Augusto.
Ruby Alvarez Martinez.
Anthony Alegría.
Sonia Alegría.
Alex Arellano.
Juan Arredondo Martínez.
Joshua Ballesteros.
Brian Barbosa Martínez.
Christian Barrera.
Gabriel Becerra.
Jorge Becerra.
Jordan Belden.
Salvador Berumen.
Anthony Boerio.
Amira Brown.
Luis Miguel Carlos Jacobo.
Destiny Kassler Buckley.
Gabriel Castillo.
María de Carmen Castro Martínez.
Axel Cebrero.
Nicholas Chase Aguirre.
Andrew Chan.
Deontay Clay.
Alexis Colindres Salinas.
Kevin Contreras.
Hector Cortés Arellano.
Gianna Curtis.
Javier Diaz.
Monica Diaz.
Malachi Drake.
Erika Elisa Raras.
Sarah Engel.
Tommy Eppinger.
Valentino Espindola.
Destiny Fernandez.
Saúl Flores.
Adam Fragosa.
Alex Garcia.
Anthony Garcia.
Jaime Garcia.
Janet Garcia.
Lisette Garcia.
Casey Gillespie.
Jorge Gómez Becerra.
Vanessa Gonzalez.
Diego González Bolaños.
Alaya Lilia Gordillo.
Christian Graves.
Jonah Guerra Prieto.
Leilani Buitrón.
Miguel Ángel Gutiérrez.
Manuel Aro.
Jeremiah Hernandez.
Malachi Hernandez.
Michael Hernandez.
Shamar Hicks.
Jennifer Higareda.
David Hydro.
Renee Historia Mariscal.
Michael Jara Alvarez.
Bryce King.
Anthony Lancaster.
Tanae Leonard.
Fausto Lopez.
Anthony Love.
Jessica Lua.
Thomas Manuel Osorio.
Joel Mena Cabrera.
Miguel Mendoza.
Corey Miller.
Miguel Ángel Moncada.
Leticia Montanes.
Miguel Montiel.
Sean Mullins.
Juan Nieto Sánchez.
Mariano Ochoa.
Kevin Patiño.
Katie Peña.
Anthony Perez.
Matthew Pineda.
Antonio Ramírez.
Omar Ramírez.
Kumaro Ramírez Carrillo.
Alejandro Reyes.
Byron Rivas.
Gabriel Rodríguez.
Isaiah Rodríguez.
Angel Rosas.
Emanuel Ruiz.
Joey Salazar.
Angel Sanchez.
Mario Sanchez.
Luis Salcedo.
Mark Terrones,
Latavion Thomas,
Eddie Thompson,
Ronald Tomas,
Noah Torralba,
Zulema Torres García,
Urban A. Valencia Carrasco,
Frankie Velázquez,
Martin Vicent,
José Villaseñor,
Christian Villalobos,
Cole Wentworth,
Noah Wyatt,
This is a remarkable class, graduating into a time where the world faces adversity. It is the pledge of the Riverside County Office of Education that every student in Riverside County will graduate from high school academically and socially prepared for college, the workforce, and civic responsibility. It is with great confidence that we see you to your next stage, with a firm belief that your contributions to furthering your academics, your careers, and the prosperity of your community are as critical as ever.
And now, Pamela Bender, Executive Director of Special Education, will lead the changing of the tassels.
The Riverside County Office of Education is welcoming all graduates to participate in our cap toss. In keeping with longstanding tradition, graduates, please make sure your tassel is on the right side of your cap. Now move your tassels to the left. Congratulations, you have now graduated, class of 2021. You have done it.
Thank you. This has been a truly unique graduation experience. And on behalf of the Riverside County Office of Education, I wish to congratulate our class of 2021 on your successes.
I did it!